Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Pine podcast. I'm Chris Demo here again at Murphy's Law Irish Pub in Rochester. Something I do have to make a habit of. If you guys could, please like, follow, subscribe to all of our channels. It really helps out. You could find all the links at behindthepinepodcast.com. So today I have, you want to go by Shy or Cheyenne?
Shy.
I got Shy and Devin here with me today, people that I know well and also work with me. So here we are continuing the trend. And if you guys want to introduce yourselves, let me know how long you've been in the industry, where you work, and we can go over some job history.
Okay. Yeah. So my name's Shy. I've been in the industry for probably about 6 years now. I'm originally from outside of Syracuse, so I started out there, and then I worked at a college bar out in Brockport, and then now I'm out in Rochester. So I primarily work at like Magpie and Pecker, and yeah.
This has been great promo for these bars because everyone I've had on the show works at those places. Devin, what about you? Talk to us.
My name is Devin. I'm originally from Hornell. Never bartender there at all. I've been in the industry like 3 years, and I really only work at Dead Red Pecker.
Yeah. So Devin is another classic story that we've gone over before about people that just hang out, get to know all the same friends, and then eventually just kind of finds his way behind the bar working. And you started as a barback, right? Yeah. And now are you only bartending now?
Yeah, I haven't barbacked any.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty standard thing. And that's why it's tough to hold on to barbacks because we don't really, everyone that barbacks usually eventually just wants to bartend.
Yeah.
So
it's better money and less work.
Yeah.
Definitely less work.
less physical. It's a trade-off because it's like the bartenders we have to deal with the customers more face to face, which could be a pain in the ass. But at the same time, you don't have to be running around with like a chicken with your head cut off with bartenders screaming at you all the time.
Now you can
straws,
scream at
get
them.
me cups, get me more beer.
Yeah, no, it never ends. And it's like now with Magpie, like we have the back bar on the weekends, and it's like we have one bar back for each bar. And I'm like, if I don't see my bar back, I'm like, well, he's probably doing something for the back bar, so I got to be patient. So, Shy, tell me, is there any difference between like the Syracuse scene and the Rochester scene, or is it pretty similar?
So from where I worked, I worked at more of like a family-owned like restaurant and bar, but had been around for like 50 years at that point. So some of the regulars had been going there since it opened. So they had a very strong idea about how they should be served from like the bartenders. The bartenders have also been there for like 18, 20 years.
Yeah.
Like they started when they were 18, they're now in their 30s. So they had a very like functional way of how they ran things, but the clientele was definitely more of like an older crowd. So it was a lot more sophisticated. Like we had a cocktail menu, we had like, all your standard stuff too. But they get crazy. Like you wouldn't expect like that age group, I guess, to really like party, but they partied almost harder than like the college people that I had to serve as well. And it would get kind of crazy. So we had like an indoor bar that like had the full food menu and everything too. So it's definitely very different when you're working at a bar that has like a restaurant attached to it too, because then you're running food, you're bussing the tables, you're making the cocktails and everything too, but you're also doing all like the server tickets. But then we had an outdoor bar too, which was a lot more like a tiki bar type style. So it was a lot more of just like the drinking. They had live music. It was great. And then, so Rochester, it's a lot more of like a younger crowd, but also me coming from like a college bar setting, it's a lot more mature in that way.
Yes.
Cause like college kids are just off the wall. Like
Yes,
they are just crazy. Like the bar's super quiet until like 11 o'clock. And then you just get like 50, 60 people coming in and they've been like pre-gaming for like hours too. So they're just like, they're already drunk by the time they get there.
The college kids are like getting as drunk as they can before they come out.
Oh yeah.
Because it's, fiscally where they're at. And also because they just don't have a pause button. So they just go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So because my dad used to own a place out in Syracuse, but it was out in like Manlius. So we never spent too much time out in Syracuse, but because I know there's big differences between like Rochester and Buffalo. Like obviously the 4 a.m. thing. This is Syracuse?
Nope, Syracuse is 2.
From it's 1. So
yeah, Hornell. How many bars are there in Hornell?
There's a ton of bars in Hornell, but they're all in like a strip. They're all in
it's like the little town. Like
it's wild. Or they've got like the KFC, the VFW, like the old people drink.
Yeah, so they got a little something for everybody. So like Hornell, do you like drinking? Like when you go back to Hornell, is it like a little bit of a shock, or is it more like? Is it like, see, now that you actually work at the bars instead of just being a patron, do you like criticize any bars anywhere else you go? Or is it like, or do you have like a more appreciation for?
I don't know. I feel like I have an appreciation, but we have like bars in Hornell that like only take cash. And like you can put a $50 like bill on the bar and they just like take from it all night. And you and 2 other people can drink for $50 with a tip. It's crazy. Like a shot, and they come in like the little plastic like shooters that they serve. They just serve that. And it's like, okay, that's $2.50. I'm like,
Is that a service charge or is
Yeah.
that the actual charge?
Literally,
of the
it's
drink?
$7 for a shot anywhere else, or like in Rochester, and you go somewhere else, it's like actually like 12, 13 in a big city. So it's nothing to drink there.
Yeah, and it's all relative because we get people from like, even when, I think our prices are pretty fair. People are like, oh, you guys, it's more expensive at most other places. We try to keep it, competitive and fair. But like then I get people that come in from LA or Miami and they'll order like 15 shots and they're like, wait, it's only
Oh,
like
yeah.
where I'm from, that would have been $400.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, no, it's like, $80, man.
Yep.
So you get a lot of tips from those and it's probably the same, relatively.
Oh yeah, going back there now, I'm like, I'm used to spending this much. So
Yeah.
here's that as a tip.
It's and also going back to college, I've been paying attention to like college kids and how they don't use cash as much anymore. Everything's Apple Pay, everything's card.
Their
And
parents,
it's funny.
Costco is a big one.
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Costco Visa all the time.
I had this one kid who he would come in like every weekend. He was definitely a regular, and him and I were kind of buddies. And he would always drink like double like vodka primes, basically, which is like an energy drink, and it's like a $10 drink. And then one night he just like bought shots for all his friends, and his tab was like it was like $2.20. It wasn't like awful. And he texted me the next day. I don't know how he got my number. Texted me the next day, and he's like $2.20, and I was like, yeah, that's what you spent. And he was like, I had to apologize to my grandma this morning because I overdrew her account. And I'm like, you're coming to the bar with your grandma's credit card,
and then giving me shit about
right?
it.
I was like, I'm
fuck
not the
off.
one that used your grandma's credit card, buddy.
Yeah.
You should have thought better about that.
No, people do think like, well, I want to go out and everybody's going out, so I'm just going to go out and be reckless and not think, and it's a young kid's mentality. I get it.
Oh yeah.
And it's difficult. And these kids, like, first of all, they don't know how to handle cash. They just don't anymore.
Right.
It's just not a thing. Like they hand me crumpled up dollar bills and they're pulling it out of pockets and bras. I'm like, and they just like throw it at me. I'm like, now I got to take time to uncrinkle these and do all this stuff. And it's to a point where I don't think they understand as much like the value of things. Like they've asked me like at midnight, like, hey, can you break a 20 if I pay for this $4? I mean, break a 20. A 20 is like the new dollar bill. It's not
Literally. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if it's early in the night and you ask if I could break 100, I think that's valid. But can you break a 20 at midnight? Yeah, dude, there's 600 people here. Of course I can.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, there's enough people using cash. I can give you $16 back. Don't worry about it. And then once they say that, I know I'm not getting $1 out of that 16. But
Oh, you already know. No, my favorite thing I think is if someone buys like a $4 beer and then they give me 100 and they're like, oh, can you break this? And I'm like, yeah. Yes, I can.
I can.
But just buy a couple more.
These-
$4. I'm just like, okay.
And then once they give you that $100 bill, half of that's probably their budget for the night. So you're like, okay, I got to work off of this now.
Yep.
Yeah. And then it's funny because like then you know that they have cash, and then like you said, like they'll tip you like $3 or like $1. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, but going from that, it's good that we've talked about before about the older crowds and how there's double-edged swords to every clientele you have. Like the older crowd that's coming out, at least they party,
Right.
and they can afford to party.
Exactly.
And then you got the older crowd, like you said, we have regulars and we have everything too, and that they expect a different level of service and they've earned it. But hey, if they're partying and they're having a good time, it's the kids that don't have a lot of money that are kind of arrogant about stuff that gets to me. But as long as you're spending money and you're a regular and you're coming back, I don't care.
Oh, exactly. It's like if we're gonna see you again and you're just gonna keep coming back, like that's great. But it's like I'll have like younger kids, like they'll come up to me, they're like, "What can I get for $3?"
Nothing.
And I'm like, "A shot of water, baby." That's all I
it.
can.
When we had Public House, we had the $2 PBRs.
Ah.
So those.
Bet.
My favorite was they would like throw them on the ground and then like step on them and splash the beer all over people. And then it'd be like, then I have to yell at everyone.
Yeah. And it's like, and they're like looking at you like, what? Like, dude, you're here buying the cheapest beer, which means you're on a budget. Now you're going to make a mess, get everyone full of beer, and get mad at me when I tell you can't do that.
Yep.
Right. You're causing issues, not spending money, not tipping us money, and now we have to pick you up.
Yeah.
So now you're just a problem more than you are anything else.
Yes. And I already didn't like you before you even ordered anything. So
Literally.
that's perfect. And like we have around here, like, the generations cycle through. This is, downtown Rochester. So you got every 4 to 6 years, the next generation comes in. Is that different in Hornell because it's all locals? Or is there's a college there, right?
Well, they're not in Hornell, it's in Alfred. So they have to
Oh.
like drive like 15, 20 minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes. But also there's so many college bars. People don't really come to Hornell to drink. It's all like the kids that like come home to visit their family. Like some kids will live in Alfred and have a house. I'm like, yeah, it's not really money wise to stay and go to school in Alfred to save money, but whatever. I mean, it's up to them. But no, and like I went to Magpie the other night and I walked in. I'm like, I don't know any of these people. I'm like, and guess I've been here 6 years. Like this year is like 6 years. I lived
Yeah, you've been out here that long.
So I was like, I know none of these people. Like, it's changed at this point. Everyone's grown up, gone.
I've been through I've been there since we opened in 2008. And it's, it's tough because like a lot of my buddies I'll be 38 in November. So a lot of my friends, they'll stop in early or pop in real late before they go home if they still live around here. And, it's a different generation and things do change. I mean, the bars go on, we just adapt and make it happen. But, we talk about it all the time. You see people grow up. Like last night, they had like NAS alum weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
So I saw kids that spent the last 4 years drinking at our bars came back for alumni weekend. I haven't seen them this year. And like, they're all like, even just getting like a couple months out of college, they're closing their tabs. I'm like, dude, you grew up, man. Like, you're not leaving your credit card here.
They're not coming back Sunday morning. Like, please tell me you have my card.
Yeah. And I've had this with this kid that comes in all the time. I know him. He's awesome. And he ordered a drink last night. He goes, yeah, can I have a blue light? I'm like, yeah. He goes, you have my card? Like, I fucking better if you want that blue light. I'm not gonna chase you around for your card, but we had it.
There'd be times with cards though, like when I first moved here, I'd leave a card. I wouldn't come back for it. I would cancel it and use another credit card till I got that new one back in the mail. So embarrassed. But now on the days, I'm like, hey, I have a tab. I'm sorry, guys.
But we are good about keeping those things because there's places where you're like, I left my card there. They never have it. And then there's the people that argue with you that think you have their card and you just don't.
Oh my God, yeah. No,
I'm like, you're just making the trek all down Park Ave, aren't you? You're checking every place to see.
Yeah. And arguing with every single bartender for what.
I know I did. I'm like, no, it wouldn't be a question. It would be, I left my card here last night, not, hey, did I leave my card here last night?
Oh yeah, there was this night, I was at Mason's last year and we had this one kid, he was there all night and he was just sloshed by the end of the night. I closed him out and I gave him his card back and I saw him put it back in his wallet and put it in his pocket. And it's like 1:45. He comes around. He was like, hey, like I need to close out my tab and get my card. I was like, I closed you out an hour and a half ago. I'm like, I gave you your card. I saw you put it in your wallet. He pulls out his wallet, opens it up. All of his cards fall onto the floor. And I'm like, well, now it's probably on the floor. And then like 10 minutes go by, he picks up all his stuff and he looks back up at me and goes, I need my card. And I was like, buddy, I was like, I just gave it to you. I was like, you have it. I literally just saw it fall out of your thing. And it was probably like, I don't know where it was. But then, so we ended up, I mean, we had to kick him out because he's like arguing with me over where his card is. And I'm like, all right, buddy, it's 2:00. I'm like, you got to go. I'm like, if we find it, come back tomorrow. Like, and we give the cards back typically.
Oh yeah.
Too. So like,
we don't. So
exactly. Yeah. So we do that to avoid that too. Because at the end of the night, 2 a.m. comes around, we're going to have 30 people trying to close out their tab. And it would just be a whole debacle.
We used to not have to give the cards back. But since we got the new tapping, we have to do it.
Right.
And we have the pre-authorization and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I also think that was to help prevent people from running up a tab for money they didn't have.
Right.
And then just not having to face the bartender again.
Yeah, because it would only like approve it for like $1, right?
Yeah, well, we pre-authorized it for $1, but if we have their card, they have to figure out a way to pay the tab.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to coming back up, me saying, they're just like, oh, I don't have the money, I'm just leaving. And they can still leave and cancel the card, but it's still a pain in the ass because everyone's got so many accounts and everything logged. Like,
oh yeah.
It's just a headache. But there's people that did it on purpose and. But we stopped doing that because you got to come back and close your tab. And it's and I think it also keeps people accountable. Like, hey, what's my tab at?
Right.
Because they want their card back, so they're not. I do give people updates on where they're at, and there's people that get a little rambunctious when they spend too much money.
Oh yeah, yep. Because they don't even realize it. They have like, I didn't spend this much, and I'm like, sir, you had 17 shots of Espolòn. You for sure, you definitely spent that much money.
Or you have like I've talked about people that are usually solo. And then they go out for a night, and then I see them like, oh, they met some girls, and they're buying shots and drinks. And
for her and her friends.
Yeah. Then they get mad. I'm like, this is way more than I usually spend. I go, because you're usually by yourself. And this kind of attitude is probably why you're usually by yourself.
Correct. So if you're not prepared to spend money when you're offering to buy girls drinks, it's like they're going to purposely run you up.
They're going to run you up
just for the drinks, and then they're going to go home by themselves.
And they're going to dissipate.
Half of these girls go out looking for men to buy them.
Oh yeah.
Like everyone knows that. Like, and if you're 40, 35 and don't know that at this point, you got to figure it out one day.
And there's I don't know the right word for it. I guess I don't know. Predators is a little aggressive, but there's guys with bad intentions. Well, not bad intentions. They're trying to hook up with girls or whatever, and they're going out to buy drinks. But there's also, like you said, there's girls with that opposite mentality. It's like, it's either a mix of, hey, if they're going to fucking fall into that trap, I'll lay it out there for them.
Oh, absolutely. And there's also like the other side of it too, where it's like these guys will be like, oh, like, let me buy you and your friends a drink. And then it's like, and then I'm going to be like, okay, free drink. Like, absolutely.
And
so
also,
save me some money.
If
you're going to buy me a drink, I'm getting like top shelf. Like, I'm getting the good stuff. And then like, they'll get mad. Like later in the night when they're like trying to talk to you, and it's like, I don't want to talk to you. No. It's like, you offered to buy me a drink.
There's no contract here that means automatically I have to.
Yes.
And also, take a hint. because, now I got to sit there and now the girls are looking at me and I'm like, okay, leave them alone. Like I had someone in last night that was just like drunk and these three girls came out as like a girls' night. You could tell they were dressed up nice. Probably just came from dinner. And this drunk guy at the end of the bar is like, hey, let me buy them a drink. And I'm like, listen, you're kind of a little further along than they are. I'm not going to have you spend the money.
Right.
If two things are going to happen. Number one, you're already drunk. You're going to get probably shut down. They're just out with the girls right now. They weren't, you could tell they weren't out looking for anything. They just want to hang out. I'm like, now after this, if you do that and then you're trying to, like you said, go up there and like, now you have to hang out with me.
Exactly.
Now I got to diffuse that instead of focusing on what I got to do. And as a bartender, you see the stories play out all the time and you're like, I'm not going to set that up because I'm just setting everybody up for failure here. And I got to take, and it disrupts the night too.
Right. You're worrying about these people.
Yes.
And I used to have that with like a bunch of my friends. Cause like when I still worked at Mason's, like I'd already graduated, but I was still living out there. And like a bunch of my friends would always like come up to me with all their problems. And I'm like, honey, I'm working. We're like 6 people deep right now. I can't go tell this guy you're not interested. I'm like, you need to take care of that. I'm like, I got 7 people in my section waiting for drinks right now. Like
if you would feel like there's any kind of threat or danger or you're really uncomfortable, okay, we can talk.
Yeah, go get a bouncer. We got 6 of them up.
Yeah, I know, right? You're getting paid $20 an hour. I'm trying to make as much money as possible.
Exactly.
But we've talked about, like, it's, what are you going to do? It's just people getting drunk and getting chaotic and people forgetting things they're like drunken goldfish.
You know how they say like children are drunk adults? Like, but
Yes.
because they're just knocking into stuff and running around, like that's what they say.
I told people that was when I was kind of like, man, am I getting to the end of my bartending career? Because when, Dominic was young, my son, I was like, my customers and my son started reminding me of each other too much.
Same people.
Like, you can't really understand what they're saying. They don't walk straight.
Right.
They don't have any money.
You have to tell them the same thing.
Everything my 2-year-old, that's him. So, but there's some entertainment value if you're in the mood for it. It's just that the entertainment value diminishes as the night goes on because now you're like, okay, now I'm getting to the end of my rope here.
Oh yeah, especially I feel like once like 1:15 hits, it's downhill from there.
Oh, it's terrible. That's when I start doing my closing shit because to me like it's probably bad bartender etiquette to do closing shit while there's still people there, but they're all drunk. And then you start serving a lot of waters.
Yeah, 15 waters, and I'm like, I don't want to.
No, at least there are people that throw out the $1 for the water and stuff. That's appreciated. And also, I don't want if people are drunk and trying to wind down their night. I don't mind keeping people hydrated.
Oh yeah,
but don't flag me down at 1:15. Like, I just need 4 waters. I'm like, okay, no problem.
Exactly.
Can't say no. It's part of the job, but okay.
Yes.
You working more days or nights now?
I only have one set shift, and it's a Sunday day.
Yeah.
So like, it's I don't know. But it depends because like Sunday fun days are crazy in Rochester. So like people are still ham sauced by 4 p.m. sometimes.
Yes.
And like, I'm like, okay, Bill's game starts at 1. They go, but they're actually out at 11:30, 12. So they drink at brunch, then they drink all day. And then I'm like, oh, and then sometimes you get like an overflow from another bar and you're like, okay, where were you all day? Cause like you can barely talk and it's 4 p.m.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like and I talk about this all the time when I come in for my night shifts, like on Saturdays, especially because people do go out on Saturdays too. And it's like, there's 1 or 2 things are going to happen. You're just going to tap out, call it a night. Actually, there's 3 things. You're going to try to hang out into the night, which never works.
Yep.
Or you're going to make a phone call and find some sort of motivation to stay out longer. And I'm like, and none of those things are good for the night bartender because I have the nighttime people coming in and it doesn't mesh. Someone that's just coming out for the night doesn't mesh with someone that's been drinking since noon.
Yeah. No.
And it's at 8 o'clock. I'm like, now I got to try to keep them separated from the new
Exactly.
people out. And like, those are all the things you're mitigating all the time.
Yep.
Cause you're like, no offense, man. Like you're on the end of your time here.
Oh yeah.
And these
Like,
people are just coming out. I
already.
gotta make sure these people are having a good time because they're going to hang out for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't hang like that anymore. So I give props to anybody who can go out from like noon to 10 p.m., noon to 8 p.m. I give anyone props.
Yeah.
I have to eat at least twice during that time.
Yeah.
I need food breaks.
Yeah,
for sure.
there's no way. Water, a liquid IV, whatever you can get me, I will take because I can't drink like that anymore.
I'm nervous to go. We're all going to the Bills game.
Yeah, we're going to a Bills game.
I'm
next
like,
week, and
I'm like, usually,
oh, no.
6-7 years ago, I'm like, dude, this is gonna be the fucking best. I'm getting all right.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, am I gonna make it? Like,
And we're getting on the bus at 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. game starts at 1. No.
Okay, that's a problem.
Stop. They'll stop.
I just heard about the way home because everyone's just in a.
Oh yeah, everyone's just like
yeah.
gonna.
Okay.
I'll get a box of diapers.
And for those who are maybe listening outside of the marketplace, like we live in Rochester, about an hour away from Buffalo, and it's about if no traffic on a non-day game, it's like an hour and 20-minute drive to Orchard Park. But on a game day in a bus, that's like on the way home, that's like a 4-hour drive. So you go out there early to tailgate, go to the game, and then you got to get everyone together. It's a long.
You're going
big
probably
experience.
9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Actually, one of the coolest bars I've ever been to was at a Bills game. We took a bus and they stopped serving at halftime. And me and my brother were there, and we were like, all right, they stopped serving at halftime. It was Bills versus Jets 12 years ago. So it was like a 9-3 game. It was terrible. We're like, let's leave at halftime and find a bar. And we left at halftime. We asked him, like, where's the best bar? And he pointed us in this direction. It was a house. In the garage was a full bar, TVs, high top tables, fire pits outside.
Oh my God.
They had a full shelves of liquor behind the bar. And I ordered 2 drinks. I go, how much? He goes, no, just donations. Because it's not a bar.
Right.
It was their house. It was the cool. I was like, I wish I would have known. I would have never wasted my time going to the game.
Yeah,
I would have hung out here
the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
I love that.
I'm still kind of considering. I don't know if it's still.
You got to get on Reddit or something.
I guess I can't say if it's still open or not. I guess I would just say, do they still live there?
Do they still take, donations?
Yeah. Is that donations? Not for profit still open?
That not-for-profit bar.
But now, like, I can't imagine bartending at one of those games. Like, you just get those floods of people, like, at halftime and before the game.
Yeah. Well, so I used to work, so when I played softball at Brockport, we used to have to do fundraising, like, at the Bills games. And so we would drive to the Bills games, and we'd be, like, outside at one of, like, the beer carts and stuff. And I mean, like, 30 degrees outside, it's freezing. We're, like, out cracking beer. Like, I thought my fingers were going to fall off. It was so bad.
Thanks.
But, like, we would get, like, huge rushes of people, and like, those tall boys are expensive, 20-something bucks a drink. We'd have people get, like, 10 to 12 of them at a time. Like,
no shit.
Oh yeah, or like whatever the serving limit was, but it was like 2 per person or something. So they come up with like a big group, and like they would. And you have like 4 college girls on a Sunday trying to do all this math and stuff, and it's like someone's working the register, and they're like,
you're like, give me your parents' Costco card.
Yeah, exactly. It's like just give me a card, just give me a card. Like if it was cash, we're just like, oh my God. And it was like early. We'd have to leave at like 8 a.m. in the morning, like if it was an early game.
Oh yeah,
it's just like
it's a whole process.
We were out like Saturday night before, so like we're like half functioning trying to do this, and it was fun, but
the rare times we see people doing like we're doing a Bills game, and you see people out the night before, it's like, ooh, am I going to see you tomorrow or not?
Exactly?
Is there going to be a little bit more room on the bus?
There is 1 spot left on our bus, but
yeah, we'll fill it. I got to get tickets though.
Half of us aren't even over the game.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably how it would go. I do kind of. I mean, if I'm going to go, I kind of want to go.
It's going to be like the last year before the new stadium. I'm going.
We'll figure it out this week.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Sunday fun days are big here. You know,
especially during football season.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we're in that mode now, and it's like perfect fall weather now. Which because like around here, the whole mood always shifts with the seasons.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? There's people that we're on Park Avenue all year working, and I don't see people all winter, and then the spring hits, and then you start seeing people come out, and the weather's turning, and then you got that immediate the new summer rush that comes in.
Yeah, but when people disappear like that, I'm like, did you get married? Did you move to a new city? Did it not work out? What happened?
Yeah,
I was gonna say they're coming out of hibernation.
They just hibernate for the winter. They're like, nope, I do not leave my house.
I've had people tell me at the bar, they're like, girls would be like, yeah, I'm gonna find me a boyfriend so I can hibernate for this winter, feel a little love, and then I'll be single for the summer.
Idea.
You see all that rotation, but also with the seasons, like the bars always fluctuate. I mean, they're busier in the summer, obviously, but people also do stuff in the summer. They have events.
Exactly.
There's, Rochester specifically, it's probably like this in anywhere in this region. But then you got your festivals, you got your concerts, you got all these things, and people do try to take advantage of the weather. But in the end, all roads lead back to the bars.
Yeah. Especially like if they do have like the festivals, like I feel like a lot of them too are like right next to Park Ave. So it's like we'll get like the flood from like after the festivals into the bars. So it's like sometimes there'll be like a little bit of like a later crowd that comes in, but then like they've already been out all day. Yeah. So it's like it's a weird vibe because you're either going to get super busy or people are just coming to hang out.
And here's like the boating thing's a big thing in the summer. So you see people that come in, they're out in the water all day drinking, and they come in like they came from the beach for a nighttime, and you're like, come on, what's going on here? And they're like, I've been on a boat all day. I'm like, I fucking know. You didn't have to tell me that.
You smell like the water.
Yeah.
And
you smell like the lake.
Yeah. And you probably ditched the guy that brought you on his boat. Same thing. Like,
If
I buy you a drink, you got to hang out with me.
Oh yeah. No, the boat thing's huge. It's like, oh, you want to go out on the boat? And it's like, I would love to go on a boat, but not with you.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, but I got a boat. And it's like, yeah, but you are who you are. So I'd rather just not.
No. I'd like to see tomorrow. That'd be great.
Yes, exactly.
So my friends too, like my friends, we go on our friend's dad's boat and it's fine. We have fun. We drink. I'm like, someone's driving me back because I'm not driving back. And then they're like, you want to go out after? I'm like, No, I literally was in the sun drinking all day. I do not want to go out to the bar afterwards.
No, and the thing is, if you try to like, even if you're like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to extend a little bit, it's never a good idea.
Yeah, no.
No.
Because as soon as you step out, you're like, oh, I'm elongating this for all the wrong reasons. But I've also been drinking all day, so maybe I'll make a bad decision.
Exactly.
And, you know, I'll be all sunburnt in a tank top trying to fight some guy who's dressed up in slacks and a button up who just came from dinner.
Yeah.
And
It's a good idea.
typically works out well. But yeah, people in general that's another tough part is people, it's really crazy to me. And I say this, I used to be like that. Like just as a bartender, you're just like, know when to go home.
Yes.
And there's gotta be something like I've seen those people that like slip cards like, hey, quietly, I'm telling you, it's time to call it a night. But at the same time, if you get to that point, you're not fucking reading that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not.
You didn't, I couldn't even read the really minimal tip you left me on your credit card.
I love it when like you get the receipt back and it's like you know they've had like way too many, and then it's like it has like the tip line and the total, and then the tip is written over here, the total's on the top of the receipt.
Yeah, they have
and
no
the
clue.
math just does not math whatsoever. It's like I don't know what you were thinking when you were writing
clue.
this.
You're like,
Oh, literally, you're like, okay, I'm gonna guess which one is which because nothing is in the right spot here.
Yeah.
Thanks for signing your tab in hieroglyphics. That
No,
was really
literally.
really helpful for me.
Yeah,
And
it's so bad.
and there's like I've seen like the Facebook groups and stuff. They're like, you know, where the tip and the total don't match.
Oh,
And they're like, what do you guys think I should take, the tip or the total?
Yeah,
And it's like, as a bartender, you got to make the judgment call. It's like, well, the total is more than they tip me, but I can kind of make out the tip.
yeah,
And I think that comes down to, you know, because either way is acceptable. I mean, the receipt's there.
right.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, if you were a good person, you were a good customer, and you're just fucked up and you decided to call it a night, maybe I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll take the lower amount.
Right.
But if you're a dick, I'm taking whatever's the most.
Oh,
from you.
absolutely.
That was my
Absolutely.
favorite game to play with Nicole when I was a regular.
Yeah.
She worked there like, what, 6-7 years?
Oh,
at
she
this
worked for us
point.
forever.
But she hasn't worked for like 6-7 years. But that was my favorite game to play with her at the end of the night. I'd be sitting at the bar. I'm like, what is this? What is this?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we have no clue. I would be the regular. She'd be like, so which one? I'm like, okay, got you. We got you.
And there's people that don't even give it an effort.
Oh,
It's just
no.
like, honestly, like there's some people where I can read their signatures better than I can read the numbers.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And I don't, and I will tell you, as I've gotten older and now the younger generations are coming out to the city, losing a little faith in the math programs at schools around here. Because
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
the Common Core math.
Yeah.
Right? It's the Common Core math.
Always blame the Common Core.
and I think I've talked about it before. There's been times where I've seen people that are like blacked out. I'm like, oh my God, thank God they're closing out. Like they come in drunk and they just have and they're like, good, you're closing out. But then their receipt is filled out like it was printed, like it was perfect.
Oh
Like
yeah.
they have like odd sense that they add the math perfectly.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
and I'm like, you can't even speak. How are you writing? They find like this, they pull some inspiration out of themselves.
You know, they were mathematically inclined in school.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, okay, you could still pull that together.
Yeah, like a big thing at Mason's, like, and I've talked about this before with people. It's like we'd have like sometimes hundreds of receipts at the end of the night. So we have like 5 bartenders on. We have 3 people doing receipts at like 1:30. And half the time, like you're looking at the receipt and you're like, I have no idea what this says. Like it's literally just scribbled on there in like both spots. And you're like, this makes absolutely no sense.
Mhm.
Like you're reading gibberish at that point.
Yeah.
Like it's,
And it was awful. When they close out, like we have, gratuity added if you leave your card. But if you do close out, take your card back, take the receipt and sign it in any way.
Yeah.
It's a 0 if you can't read it.
oh yeah,
It's a 0.
exactly.
And that sucks. But, the younger kid, they're worried about not leaving their card.
Yep.
Even though they probably still think they did.
I've
leave
had
their
people
card.
who have
Exactly.
literally taken their receipts.
Oh, yeah.
I've physically seen them, so they don't have to tip.
Right.
Like, because
Yep.
they're just bad people.
And-
Whatever. I don't even want you here. Take your receipt and go.
Yeah, now we don't remember names. We kind of get used to seeing people remember faces, but that kind of shit, we see it.
Yeah.
And next
Oh,
time
yeah.
you come in, like, oh, you're that guy. Okay.
It's like we remember if you don't tip.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do. We'll always remember you.
It's
And
gonna
I'll
be in the
always
back of
tell
our
somebody
brain.
about you, too. I'll tell someone about you. Like, that
Oh,
guy
yeah.
doesn't tip. That guy doesn't
Especially
tip.
if you run up a big tab and like, especially like, I mean, if you're like a decent person and you treat us well, okay, it's a little less bad. But if you are in any way like a dick or you're just like not a good person and you have like a big tab and you don't tip, everyone will know. Everyone that works there will know. Like we have group chats.
Bring back tip. Yeah, bring back tip shaming. Shame
I
everybody.
had a
literally.
person a couple weeks ago at Magpie. It was like $84, right? Okay, whatever. So he pays with his Cash App card. It only goes through for like 81.
And that's when you
82,
know.
Right? So it goes through. I'm like, hey, you still owe like $2.30 some odd cents. So he gives me the $2 and some odd cents out of a 5, right?
Then took everything with him.
And then he left me the change on the thing.
Uh,
I'm like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was $80 and you I'm like, you probably did that on purpose.
so now you sold your soul and your reputation, whatever reputation you might have had,
Yeah.
for a couple of dollars.
Mhm.
And on top of that, the way it looks to me is you just spent all your money here today.
Yeah.
Like you have nothing left.
Obviously, you've made some bad life
You
choices.
needed that for your Wendy's cheeseburger later.
I had a guy come in last night. I've known him throughout the years. He's never, he's been fine. He was more drunk than I haven't seen him in a while. But he goes, "Hey, Chris." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you." He goes, "You hook me up?" I'm like, "What do you need?" He goes, "Can I do two surf size for like $10?" No.
I love when they try to negotiate the prices. And it's like, who do you think I am to be making the prices of your drink?
Oh, let me call my distributor and see if he'll give us a discount on the next one.
Just for you, though.
Have a good day.
No one else, just for you.
And what people don't get, and this is kind of why I thought these conversations with just bartenders were more deep than that, is because, that hooking you up and everything, whether we do it or we don't, it has ripple effects.
Yeah.
Management's going to come in and say our margins are down and what's going on. Now you got to look at who's giving away stuff. And now the whole staff is under a bigger microscope.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's not like he was like, "I had 14. Can you give, I know it's 15. And I've seen him before. He's tipped me before.
Yeah.
But like asking for a third of the price off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, because now I know you don't have any money. And on top of that, so his other buddy was with him. He ended up buying 2 rounds of drinks, tipping. Fine, I know them. And then somehow at like 2:10, he snuck in past the vouchers as we were getting everyone out. He goes, "Yo, man, whatever you want, bro. Chris, 2 shots of Jaeger." I'm like, "What the fuck?
It's like, how did you even get in here?
I go, that's more, or if not the same amount,
More than
the
the
surf
amount.
size." And like, what? And I don't get. I mean, he was drunk, but I just don't get how people's brains work.
No, yeah. And like, cause I'm at the point now where like, I'm out here and there'll be people that I used to serve at Mason's that'll like recognize me and they're like, "Oh my God, you used to work at Mason's." They're like, "I remember you." And I don't remember these people at all. I mean, we'd have so many people in there, like, I don't remember them. And they'd be like, "Oh, like old time's sake, like, can you hook us up? Like, can we get some free shots?" And I'm like, "You don't have any money."
Yeah, I know
like,
you don't have any money.
So you're asking for discounts on the shots and the drinks, but I know in lieu of that, you're not going to tip me anything. So it's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
That's a common theme. Like, if you will get hooked up if you earn it. If you have to ask, then you haven't earned it.
Correct.
And it takes a couple times too. It's not going to be like, you saw me a year ago at a different bar and you served me, hooked me up. It's like, that makes, what is the correlation?
Where's
with
the
this?
logic there?
Yeah, that makes
It's almost like,
plus, I didn't recognize you. You recognize me.
Right.
It's not like I was, "Hey,
right.
where you been?"
Exactly.
Good to see you again.
If it's like an old friend or something that I've known for a long time and they came back into town or something, it's like, yeah, I might throw something on my comp tab for you or something. But other than that, it's like, I'm not giving you free drinks.
Right.
It's like, absolutely not.
And if you're going to take that, like, hey, we have minimal, we don't do a lot of comp tabs anymore, but even when we were more aggressive on it, like, there's still going to be not blowback, but everyone, ownership's going to be like, "Well, your comp tabs are getting high," or and now everyone's got to take it easy on their comp tabs because
exactly,
someone's getting too aggressive on it.
Also, I'd be embarrassed asking people to like hook me up or comp me.
No,
I'd be embarrassed. Like, I wouldn't show my face.
People don't give a fuck.
I just feel like that screams I'm broke.
Yes. I don't have any money, so can you risk money to help me out?
Walk to 7-Eleven and get a pounder for $3 and walk home and drink that.
Yes.
Have a good day.
Exactly. Go home and get a 6-pack, honey. That's going to do you better than doing this.
And I think it's a lot of the younger, like, especially at the end of the night, like, "Hey, can I have, can you hook me up with like something to go for cheap?" I'm like, "No."
Oh, yeah.
No, because now you're not going to tip me. You're going to walk. I think New York State we can do that now, but I don't send booze out the door anyways, whether it's open or.
Yeah, no.
Right.
But it's like, you haven't been spending money. You drank at home, hung out here all night. Now you want to go back home where you already drank all of your cheap booze.
Yep.
And get cheaper booze from here to go home and drink.
Yeah, no.
And I don't know. I try to remember that I was younger once. So I
right.
really try. I try to not pass judgment. But
No, I judge everyone.
Yeah.
I judge everyone. I'm so sorry. You guys can judge me too, but I judge everyone.
Oh, no, I do too. Like, I'm such like if I'm bartending, I'm such a people watcher. Like, I observe everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I love the
Especially
ball for that.
if you're going to come up to my section, it's like, I want to know what type of person you are before you even come up to me.
Yeah.
Because like, I had this one kid at Magpie on Wednesday when we were working, and he'd been there all night. And like, as soon as I got there at like 9:30, so he'd been there way before I was. He was like walking like, funny. So like, I knew he was done. He came up to me like towards like the end of my shift. I think I left at like 12:30 or something.
Yeah.
He came up to me around then and he goes to me, the bar back threw out my drink. And I was like, well, that's his job to throw out empties. So if you weren't standing by your drink, like, yeah, he probably threw it out if it's sitting on the bar. And he goes, "Well, I wasn't by the bar." I was like, "Well, where were you?" And he was like, "I was by the darts." I'm like, "Well, the bar back doesn't go out by the darts." And he was like, "Well, somebody threw out my drink. Like, I want another one." And I'm like, "Okay, you can pay for another one."
Yeah.
I'm like, "'Cause for all I know,
I'm not in charge of keeping track of your
right." It's like, I'm not going back to the darts to check on your specific drink. Like,
First of all, people fucking lie all the time.
all
especially,
the time.
It's
all the time.
crazy. It's almost like sometimes, especially the younger crowd. I feel like I'm really hate because there's a lot of you guys. I love you. I promise. It's just, right now that's the biggest demographic.
And
with
the
my shit.
few that kind of ruin it for everybody.
Yeah. So it's not a blanket statement. I promise. But like, it's almost like crack fiends with like, I want every drop, and I get it. They don't have a lot of money, and they're out partying. They're supposed to be doing that.
They want to have a good time.
But it's not like there's still etiquette that's got to be.
Right.
And it's a learning curve. Like I said, the kids that just graduated, I saw them last night, and it was like for the alumni weekend. And I'm like, man, a couple of short months, you guys grew up. Yeah.
That frontal lobe developed real quick.
I bought people shots, though. I bought people shots to get away from me because that's how annoying they are.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I give you this green tea shot, will you not bother me the rest of the night? Like, it's just, and they're like, yep. I'm like, okay, here, put it on my tab. Have a good night.
You know what I tell people if I'm
again.
going to do that? I'm like, you want a parting shot? And they're like, oh, I'm leaving. I'm like, yeah, you are. So that's,
that's
you
a
are
good
out
idea.
the
I never
door.
think of that.
this is both of our opportunity to stop this.
Oh yeah.
But with the leaving the drinks around, like when I'm going to go around every drink that's got something left, I'm like, is this anybody's?
Right. Especially when it's like busy. It's like,
Also,
oh,
have you never heard of being
roofied?
roofied?
Yeah. And you're accountable
Yeah.
for your own drinks. And there's a drink laying around. I've comped drinks for people, whether, someone will be like, was this mine? I'm like, I don't know. And I'm going to put that on the spill tab to make you another one. Cause I don't trust people.
Yeah. And this same kid, he was like, oh, like, can I get another? It was like a Surfside or something. He goes, oh, like, can I get another one? Like, I'll pay for it. I'm like, well, yeah, you're going to pay for it. And then so, I get in the Surfside, I crack it, hand it to him. And I was like, all right, do you want to open or close? And he was like, I have to pay for it. And I'm like, you just told me that I'm like, obviously you have to pay for it. He goes,
we've seen all this shit before.
And then he goes, actually, you know what? Never mind. I don't want it. And then left. So now I just have this open Surfside just sitting here. I'm just like, what?
Yes, I'm drinking
again, hammering this home. And I've had a lot of, like, I try to play these podcasts during my shifts because I want customers to watch this too.
Yeah.
And be like, listen, this isn't just about this interaction. Like, this place is open 7 days a week. It is a business. It's got to make money. We got to make money. And these little things, they add up because we're so busy all the time.
Yeah.
And it has a ripple effect through everybody. You got to be accountable for it.
It's not just one person who wants a free drink. It's like 7 people a shift.
Right.
And I'm like, listen, you are behind 4 more people.
Yeah.
I'm like, there is an order to things. I'm like, you have to wait. Or like the card waving. Like, oh my God, it was such a thing when I was at Mason's. Like, all the bartenders would joke about it. We'd have like, it was like these 3 people specifically that would do it every single Friday and Saturday. Like they'd be leaning over the bar. Like they are basically like touching the well and they're like waving their card.
No.
I would go by and smack it out of their hand. I'm like, it is way too busy to be doing that.
And I also, what they don't know is we have an idea of who came when and who's next.
Oh yeah.
I try to tell people at least to acknowledge. I'm like, I'll be with you in a minute.
Yes.
Just so they back off a little bit.
Right.
But I also have multiple. I've had people reach over and touch me.
Yes.
Pat me.
Yes.
I turn around and I'll for my slate just goes blank. I turn around and go, don't you ever fucking touch me again.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I don't reach over. And I'm even delicate about because you get people that order. And then they turn around and talk to their friends and everything. And you have, you want it open or closed. And I got to ask them these things.
Right.
And I'll I'll take their card and gently tap them or say, hey, can you grab that guy?
Yeah.
Because they think once, it's either they do that or they take their shots before they finish the transaction.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, that's fine. But can we just finish this transaction? Because I do have 8 more assholes like you
that
are trying to wave me down right now.
Yeah. It's like,
snapping is the worst.
Snapping's the fucking worst.
Literally the worst thing.
Dog. Like,
I've had people that I'm not serving you anymore. I'm not serving you.
No,
You can go to another bartender, but I'm not serving you because that's so rude.
I'll turn around and I'm like, don't you fucking snap at me again. Don't do it.
Yeah.
That's not even bar etiquette. That's human etiquette.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's rude.
It's like if I'm at a store, I need someone's attention. I'm not going to be like, oh, hey, can you help me find this really quick? Like, I'm not going to snap at them.
No.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. And it's like, who raised these fucking people?
Like, I had this one guy at Magpie, like a couple Wednesdays ago, I was working. And it was like, for a Wednesday night, it was absolutely slammed. And like, I'm taking like 5 people's orders at a time because that's how busy it was. So I'm closing out this one tab, and this like older guy, had to be like mid-50s something, reaches over the bar and is like tapping my shoulder. And I turn around and I was like, do not touch me. I was like, I will be with you in a second. I'm like, do not touch me. And I turn around and I do it again, and he does it again. And he goes, hey. He's like yelling at me. And I turn around, I'm like, you touch me one more time, I'm getting you kicked out. I was like, do not reach over this bar and touch me. I'm like, this bar,
don't touch people.
This is a barrier for a reason. Do not cross over the bar.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that drives me absolutely nuts.
You don't go up and touch people anyways, especially at a bar when I'm working.
Yeah.
You don't walk into your accountant's office while he's talking to someone else, be like, hey,
I need your attention.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And we talked about like the different clienteles. Like you got some older clientele that are good and party.
Right.
But also at, on Park Ave, when it's later and it's younger, you do get the people that are in like their 40s or 50s that think because they're older, they are above everybody else. And they have, I'm like, you can sit here and be arrogant all you fucking want because all these 22-year-olds have way more etiquette than you do.
I'm thinking of literally one person. Can we bleep?
No, just don't. I think I know who you're talking about.
Literally, just
I'll
like
confirm that after the
Jack fire, Jack fire, Jack fire, Jack fire, and then he's like, "Oh, I didn't run out my friend's tab.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. I don't know who did that."
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
You know exactly. Yeah. And I don't know if he still lives there. He used to live so close. I used to see him like literally daily, but I haven't seen him in a while.
That's
so.
good that people like that. Well, they probably, if you do like that kind of shit to your friends, eventually you're going to have to move because no one's going to want to hang out.
That's the thing too, is like if you're that person that like always comes out with your friends and you're putting like every single one of your drinks on your friend's tab, and then your friend comes to close out and like, why is my tab so high?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh well, so and so put like all their drinks on your tab, and they're just like,
yeah,
because like at that point they almost expect it.
They know he's a bad person.
Yeah.
Right. But
that says how people act in bars and how they carry themselves says a lot about how they are.
Oh yeah.
In real life, and in a social environment like that. But we said people just think they deserve this, and all these things.
Yeah.
It's like this weird sense of entitlement when people walk into a bar. It's like it's very weird, especially like if they've like grown up like where the bar is. Like when I was working back in Syracuse, like all those people have been going to that bar for like 20, 30 years, and they're like, oh well, I know the owner. It's like, yeah, well, so do I, buddy. It's like,
and he told me that we got to make more money. So
exactly. It's like if the bar's not making money, sweetheart, I'm not making money.
Right.
So
Correct.
that's how that's gonna go.
And I'm not going to risk my job because you want to feel some sort of fulfillment by getting hooked up or anything like that.
Exactly.
Entitlement.
Oh yeah.
But, I mean, God, can't imagine you had that problem at Hornell for $2.50 a drink.
Nope, everyone can usually afford it, and if not, I don't even mind buying the homeless people drinks there because there's like 2 of them. I know that's not funny, but it's a little funny.
I ran into a couple of things. This group that wanted like green tea drinks, and there's no way to ring them up as like doubles.
Oh right.
So I was like, you know what? I can't really hook them. I mean, I made them more or less. She got like a regular vodka soda or vodka cran for a friend. When I see a cocktail list, she goes, "How's the Magpie Old Fashioned?" I go, "It's pretty much. I mean, there's garnishes and sugar and stuff, but it's bitters and all this other stuff. But it's pretty much bourbon on the rocks with some dressing on it." And she goes, "Oh," and then she came back up. She goes, "I didn't like this." I'm like, then she started ordering that. I go, "I told you what it was." And PJ was right there. He goes, "He fucking told you."
Exactly.
Like if you were looking for something sweet, a glass of bourbon, even if it's got cherries and it's not.
Yeah.
So then they start ordering green tea, drinks, no ice, 2 rounds of those, no tip. I'm like, you're getting pretty much Sprite and sour mix at this point.
And that's the thing too, is like if you're gonna order like kind of like an unorthodox kind of drink, like that's more work for us typically too. Especially like there's sometimes like, especially like when I was at Mason's, people would come up with like TikTok drinks. And just like these drinks they see online, they're like, I want
like gummy bear shots, and the Starburst.
And I'm like, I don't even know what this thing is.
Yeah.
So that they have to like show me what it is, because it's like if you want something special and you already have like what's in it, I'll make it for you, no problem. Like that's not an issue. But they'll be like, oh, like I want one of these, and I'll be like, I don't know what that is, and they're like, oh, well, it's this, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, or if I'm like, well, I don't have it, but I could make you this, and then they try it like, well, I don't like this, and I'm like, well, that's not my fault.
I just lost $20 sitting here wasting my time having this fucking conversation.
I was talking to Alex and he was like, I heard that you're not supposed to order 1 green tea shot. I said, correct. I said, you don't order 1 of any mix shot. It's a waste of my time and it'll make me hate you.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I'm like, all right, I got to fucking do it. There's been recently when you got the, people that order drinks or shots and then you come back like, actually, can you add? No. That's like, fuck. I mean, if it's not a quick shot, then that's annoying because I already counted out the other ones.
Oh, yeah.
But like,
especially
I've had people order 1 green tea shot and then I make it, which is already annoying. And they're like, actually, can you do another one? I go, oh, so now I got to make a single twice.
Yeah.
So you fucking suck.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm mad. The first time I was like, it's my job.
Yeah.
The second time it's like, it's also your job to be prepared.
Yeah, I'll do it, but I'm annoyed.
You can't fucking count to 2. Like, come on.
Like you'll have like that whole group of people, like there'll be like 6 to 8 people and like they'll be ordering like 1 at a time, but they're like half of them are getting the same thing. I'm like, okay, so how about instead of ordering like 5 individual vodka sodas, we just say we want 5 vodka sodas and then something else. That way I'm not like, and for you, and for you, and for you.
And you got to do the same process
over
and over again.
Exactly. Yeah. And then that's the thing too, like the green tea shots, like this happened literally at Magpie on Wednesday. I had this group of like 4 or 5 people. They're like, can I have 4 tequila shots and 1 green tea shot? I'm like, what?
Grow up and drink the tequila.
Honestly, I almost just poured it. I was like, you know what? Today you're drinking tequila because it's like the one mix shot always gets me.
Who's that friend that you guys don't actually like to hang out with? Because just doing the green tea shot.
That's the one who's getting the
chill out.
That's why when like Fireball came out, was like kind of had like a resurgence probably 10 years ago. That was awesome for bartenders because for the most part, mostly guys would back then shoot whiskey or
Right.
something easy. Girls would do the tequila sometimes. That was the first time where like it was a chilled flavored
I hate
whiskey. It's
Fireball.
terrible. But
Oh,
at
yeah.
the time, it was awesome because people were ordering them. Even the girls liked it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is way better
It's
than making
smooth, it's
10 royal
easier.
flushes.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
then
yeah.
green tea and white tea came and crashed the whole party. So
Oh,
Because like I don't mind making green tea and white tea if it's like more than like, you know, like 2.
yes,
Like
that's
if
fine.
two to however many, perfect. But when you're ordering the one, it's just like
No, it's just a little annoying and yeah, it's a weird. It's like a half count for stuff, and it's just
Right.
like it's
always make too much. I always end up making enough for 2, and then I'm just like, well, now I have an extra green tea shot. Just like
Yes.
sitting here all
hanging out waiting.
Oh
there.
yeah.
I had a kid last night. Right, he was there. He was fine. He wasn't drunk, and he right at the end of the night, he had ordered a couple drinks. He was fine, and he goes, "Can I have a Tito's and vodka?" Which is, I mean,
We were just talking about that. Like
Yeah.
when you're young.
you will hear that across probably the whole world.
Oh yeah.
People ordered, and it was like slowing down. It was like 1:40, so like people were kind of getting towards the end of the night, and I
Mhm.
was like, "You want a Tito's and vodka?" He goes, "Yes." I go, "All right, so that's 2 types of vodka." He goes, "Yes." I go, "So you wanted Tito's and vodka?" And he goes, "Yes." I go, "Would you like anything with the Tito's and vodka in the glass?" No. Okay. So you want a Tito's with vodka? He goes, "Oh, soda. I want it with soda."
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
"Okay, now let's keep it. Let's take the next step. Do you want well vodka or Tito's?" He goes, "Tito's." I go, "Double or single?" He goes, "Closed." No, I go, "Dude,
You're done.
we
You're done.
almost had you on track there." For
It's like there's not a light
I
behind.
was like, I want to set a timer and be like, "All right, how long is this going to take to?"
Oh my
release it?"
God.
I
yeah.
said it slow, and he was. I wasn't. I was just like fucking with him at that point.
And you're like, this is the most entertainment I've had
yeah,
tonight, though.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I gotta.
Going.
Especially if it's slower, it makes it fun because you're like, okay, how tripped up can I get this person
Yeah.
right now?
Yep.
Like how I was mentioning earlier with that one girl, she would always come in, she goes, "I want a vodka Malibu." And I'm like,
Oh,
I'm like, "You want a what?" And she goes, "I want a vodka Malibu." And I'm like, okay. I'm like, "So do you want vodka or do you want rum?" She was like, "I want a vodka Malibu." And I'm like, "Honey," I'm like, "that's 2 liquors." I'm like, "You need a mixer in there somewhere." And she goes, "Yeah, the Malibu's the mixer." I'm like, "No, baby
Oh,
girl." I'm
not
like,
even close.
I'm like, the Malibu
I
is
feel
a
like shit
rum.
tomorrow.
What,
Oh, yeah.
what college frat boy first
my
date talked you
God.
into the
No,
Malibu was a
literally.
mixer?
And she would come in every single weekend, and so I would just make her a sex on the beach. And she goes, "Oh my God, this is so good." And I'm like, "Yeah, you enjoy that."
yeah, you
Enjoy
And
it.
then every weekend she'd come in, and if she went to any other well, she'd eventually make it back around to mine. It's like, "They didn't make my drink right." And I'm like, "Oh, I wonder why."
yeah. I wonder why.
I'm like, "You're ordering vodka." And I told her, like, every single time, I'm like, "That's not a drink.
Just not
Yeah.
registering.
That is not a
So-
drink." Every single weekend she would do it. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
That's funny.
Oh, it was hilarious.
And then, well, you have like bartenders that know, like I have people coming in last night. "Patty and Kenzie make me this one drink." You got to be more specific.
Yeah.
right. I don't know what
I
that
wasn't
means.
here. If you have to tell me that, that means I definitely wasn't fucking here.
Right.
And I work here, and I know that my shift is not with them. So,
Oh, yeah. And
So I'm weird. I'll drink literally anything,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I'll try at least anything once, and except for you'll never let me Goldschlager ever again.
no,
Never.
everyone's got their one.
Any like
Everyone's got-
any like sick liqueur like that, Sambuca, Rumpelmans, Goldschlager, never. But one time I was voluntarily drinking like Everclear slushies.
oh my
Ooh.
God.
But they didn't taste like the Everclear, but they were really
it
good.
was there.
And I was like, wow, you have 2 slushies, and you're like, wow, I can't even stop giggling.
Yeah, that's the thing with moonshine though too. Is it tastes like nothing. My
That
dad,
does everything.
my dad used to make
My grandparents
moonshine.
are like that. Okay.
Oh yeah, and it was like my great granddad's freaking recipe from Kentucky. So
Oh
it's like
my
real. It's
God.
like real stuff. And that was the first thing I ever drank when I was like 16 because I was like, "Oh, my dad's got moonshine in the fridge." I felt like I got hit by a train, and
Yep.
I have not drinking it since.
Yep.
Because like you'll be fine. You'll be like halfway through a glass. You feel fine. You get to your second one, and all of a sudden you're like,
Halfway
I
through a
can't.
glass.
Yeah.
Excuse me. 2 shots will put me on my ass.
But
Put me on
yeah,
my
Dimensions are a
God.
little different here.
but it's like all of a sudden you stand up and you're like, I can't move my legs.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
after
like,
a glass, Shy's over
Yeah.
here in the metric system.
Yeah.
maybe not that much.
Yeah.
But,
But no,
it's
it's-
like it's bad. It hits you. It hits you hard.
Different things do hit you. I mean, obviously, moonshine's going to be a whole different
Oh,
animal.
whole
Yeah.
other
It's,
situation.
if you're drinking it straight, like I've had European like moonshines and stuff.
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
You know, you sit down and you stand up and you're a little shaky. In the
Oh,
knees,
yeah.
And you're like, oh,
When did
everything
this
just comes
happen?
crashing down on you
Oh, yeah.
fast.
And when the girls can't like take shots, like especially ones that like have high like alcohol content, my granny always taught me because she lived in Germany for years. You inhale, You take the shot, exhale the fumes. And
Oh.
they're like, oh, wow, that does work. I'm like, yeah, I know. She taught me that years ago.
Yeah.
That's why I drink the way I do.
The old tricks, man. The old tricks.
Yeah.
But yeah, you switch it up a lot with what you do.
I know. I can kind of drink anything.
We were talking yesterday because now Welch's has a new transfusion drink out.
Oh, it's the best. It's so good.
Yeah, and we were talking about how like you got the Sunny D vodka seltzers and now the Welch's transfusions, and then all the things from my childhood have just followed me into adulthood. I bet you it's probably a lot to do with that people are trying to be healthier with their kids. So they're like, okay, we're kind of losing some kid market share here.
Yeah.
Let's target the adults who drink this as kids.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
And then now we're going, which is genius, by the way. And also, I love anything that comes in a can because it's just easy.
Yeah, that's
so
why
much
like
easier.
I like Surfsides. Like I will only drink like Surfsides and tequila. That's like those are the only two things I'll drink. And like the cans are easy, but that's also as dangerous too because like they're so easy to drink.
Oh,
And
there's no carbonation. They go down like water. And you're like 5
exactly.
teeth. Like, I don't feel good.
Yeah, you're like, oh wait, I actually feel way more drunk than I expected.
Yeah.
Like the cut waters
Yeah.
that are coming
Oh,
out now too.
nope.
It's like those are so strong. Like, and people have like 2 of them.
They're
that dr-
14%.
Yeah, like that's insane. And
That's
especially
terrible.
like if you have like the college age kids drinking those, like they just throw things back.
Yeah.
So
they're drinking them at home and coming in hammered. 'cause
yeah.
We're never going to serve anything that's that
Oh,
good.
absolutely.
14%
Absolutely
is
not.
crazy.
That's stupid. I mean, first of all, it's dangerous as a bar.
It's
to
like
have
a new Four Loko.
And second of all, it's a bad business model if people are going to get blacked out after 2-3 drinks.
Oh, yeah.
And then just be a problem.
I'm not over serving someone that bad.
Absolutely.
No, we got to be diligent on that. Well, all right, guys. As we're wrapping up here, what do you guys see? Do you guys see yourself? I know you guys both have careers outside of the bar life. You guys see yourself always kind of sticking around a little bit, kind of in and out, maybe leave and come back, or
So I think I started bartending like when I was still in college, and I didn't think that once I got my full-time job that I was going to continue bartending, but it doesn't really feel like a job, especially when like you get to know like all the regulars and like obviously like all the industry people will come out and like support you if you're working and stuff, and like everyone's just so great. Like it's more fun for me than it is more of like a job, it feels like at some point. So I didn't think I was going to stick around, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of planning on staying for a while, I think.
good. That's good.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll stick around. Like I said, I don't mind the people. Half the people like them. It's fast money. It's nice. It also gives me like chance to make extra money. I like to travel. So I'm like, oh, hey, I made this much. That's going to go on like a cruise or like a trip to Italy, Europe again. So I think I'll stick around.
That's good to
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for spending some time here today. It was a great talk. And, I'm sure I'll be seeing you either on one side of the pine or the other at some point. But guys, please make sure to like and subscribe to all of our channels. Appreciate you all hanging out. Shy and Devin, thank you. We'll see you next time. Cheers.